Level 1. The Mathematics of the Edge, $142 balance. You are 22 years old and you are employed. You work 40 hours a week at a desk, earning $38,000 a year, yet the math of your life is terrifyingly fragile. You sit at your kitchen table at 9:47 p.m., opening a calculator app you have not touched in years. You type in your monthly expenses, rent, car payment, groceries, utilities, phone, and insurance. The total comes to $4,200 a month or $50,400 a year just to exist. You are not living lavishly, you are just alive, and it costs more to stay alive than your job actually pays you. The fragility of this math exposes itself the next morning. A tire blows out on your commute. You cannot afford the $130 for a new replacement, so you walk to a used tire shop and hand over $45 for a patched piece of rubber that might last 6 months. You open your banking app in the waiting room. The balance reads $142. Because your balance dropped below the institution's $1,500 minimum threshold right before payday, the system automatically withdraws a $15 maintenance fee. You are literally paying an institution to hold the money you barely have. You walk into the branch the next day to ask for a reversal. The teller is smiling warmly at the person in front of you, but when you step up, her smile vanishes, replaced by a cold, trained professionalism. The energy in the room shifts. You are processed in 40 seconds. You feel yourself become a different category of person without a single word being spoken. You are not insulted. You are just moved through the line like luggage on a belt. The system is not broken. It is working exactly as designed, quietly punishing you for existing on the edge. You exist on their books, but you do not exist in their attention. Level 2. The boring choice and the first seed, $10,000. You get a small raise to $42,000. Instead of moving to a nicer apartment or buying the permission to look successful, you do something nobody ever taught you to do. You decide to pay the future version of yourself first. You sit on the floor of your dark living room and ruthlessly cut expenses. You cut the $42 streaming service, the $35 gym membership, and the $280 in monthly takeout. You open a brokerage account and set up an automatic transfer of $300 a month into a boring dividend ETF. 2 weeks later, you mention this casually at lunch to a coworker. He laughs out loud in the middle of the cafeteria. He tells you that $300 is just a pair of shoes, and that by the time that account is worth anything, you will be dead. He boasts about putting his money into high-flying tech stocks, then goes back to eating his cheap sandwich. You say nothing. You drive a 10-year-old used Corolla that you bought with cash. The AC makes a sound you learn to ignore. When you pump gas, the man next to you filling his black BMW looks at your car, looks at you, and says nothing. You are invisible. But one morning you wake up at 6:14 a.m. and your phone buzzes. It is a notification. $41 paid to you while you were sleeping. It is not from your boss or a side hustle. It is from owning. It covers your phone bill. It is small, but it changes everything, because it is the first dollar in your life that was not traded for your time. Every other dollar you ever earned came from hours at a desk or hours in traffic. This money came from nothing. You smile at your phone. Nobody saw it, and nobody needs to. Level 3, the translation loss and the secret, $100,000. 10 years pass. You are 34. You still drive the exact same gray Corolla. The driver's side door takes 2 pulls to close, but you know the trick. Because you never upgraded your baseline, the $300 a month grew, compounded, and absorbed your bonuses. You cross $100,000 on a Tuesday morning at 7:43 a.m. You sit on the edge of your bed in the quiet light, staring at the 6 figures on your screen. You do not tell anyone. The world still thinks you are struggling. A woman from accounting named Rachel stops you in the parking lot, puts a hand on your arm, and asks with polite pity if you are okay, offering help if you need it. At lunch, coworkers whisper behind your back, assuming you must send money home just to survive. You smile and say you are fine. You realize that people do not buy cars for transportation. They buy permission to look successful, and you purposefully stopped buying permission. The bank notices the balance before anyone else does. An email arrives from a man named Daniel, a regional manager for preferred clients. offering his direct line to review your portfolio. The institution that ignored you when you had $142 now sends you an email with a human's name on it. You do not reply immediately. You let it sit because, for the first time in your life, the bank can wait for you. Later that week, you attend a backyard cookout. An old friend complains about having to drive for Uber on weekends because his rent went up by $300. You make the right face and say the right thing, but internally you feel nothing. The $300 that would have ruined your month at 24 no longer lives in your bones. You experience a profound translation loss. You have translated yourself entirely out of their financial reality, opening a quiet, invisible gap between you and everyone you love. You are no longer speaking the language of living on the edge. Level 4, the power of no and the silent divide, $500,000. You hit 38. The number reaches $500,000. It pays you $20,000 a year in dividends. That is rent, groceries, and gas, replaced forever without selling a single share. You are not rich enough to buy a yacht, but you are wealthy enough to stop being afraid. At 4:47 p.m. on a Friday, your boss walks into your office, sweating, demanding that you stay late. You used to agree reflexively. This time, you wait 3 seconds. You feel completely optional. You say yes, but the yes is different now. It is a choice, not a prison. You possess the most expensive word in the English language, the word no. The bank stops being a place you visit. It becomes a service that comes to you. A wealth manager drives to your office with printed reports in a leather folder, spending 90 minutes asking about your tax structure. He does not try to sell you a product. He consults you. The bank is actively protecting you as an asset. The quiet wealth creates a terrifying divide in your personal life. An old friend calls you in a panic. His leased BMW was repossessed from his driveway. His wife left him, and he is 3 months behind on rent. He sits across from you at a coffee shop wearing a shirt 2 sizes too big and begs to borrow $4,000. You think about the day he mocked your old Corolla, but you say nothing. You transfer the $4,000 without checking your account, and you never expect to see it again. At work, your boss offers you a massive promotion to VP of Operations, carrying a $140,000 base salary. It would require 60-hour work weeks and constant travel. You calmly decline it. When your spouse finds out, a brutal fight erupts at the kitchen table. Your spouse demands to know why you turned down the money, listing off things the family needs. You almost break your decades of silence to confess you have hundreds of thousands stashed away, but you remain quiet. Your spouse looks at you coldly and says, "I don't know who you are anymore," before leaving you to sleep on the couch. You are completely isolated by your own success. Level 5. Bending the rules. $1 million to $5 million. You are 41 when you cross $1 million. The dividends now equal $40,000 a year. You open a tax calculator and realize that because they are qualified dividends, the IRS takes absolutely zero. You keep every single dollar while your coworkers lose a third of their paychecks before the money even hits their accounts. You sit at your desk while your boss talks about quarterly goals, knowing you could walk out tomorrow and your life would not change. By age 52, you have let the investments compound endlessly. It is a Tuesday morning in March. You park in the office lot holding a resignation letter. You walk inside, hand it to your stunned boss, and leave. You do not pack a box or wait for a retirement party. You just walk past the cubicles and out the front door, buying the rest of your life back. Nobody in the building knows how you did it. As your investments crest $5 million, you enter the hidden realm of private banking. You no longer have a banker, you have a relationship, and relationships do not follow rules. They negotiate them. You sit in heavy, quiet conference rooms with absolutely no logo on the door. The table is one solid piece of wood. The deals discussed are private investments that will never appear on any public prospectus. The room only opens when the relationship justifies it. You finally decide to upgrade your vehicle. You purchase a $150,000 sports car in cash. You are driving it down an empty road, letting the engine scream when red and blue lights flash in your rearview mirror. Your stomach drops with the old fear from your rust bucket days. The officer walks up, looks at the pristine hood of the car, and the edge completely leaves his voice. He treats you like a peer, A man who simply understands how a fast machine gets away from him. He taps the roof, tells you to slow down, and walks away without writing a ticket. You sit on the side of the road and realize with a cold certainty that the rules of society were never actually rules. They were just prices. Level 6, the ultimate erasure, $25 million. The compounding effect of your capital and private investments accelerates over the next decade. You cross $25 million. You are at the absolute pinnacle of the financial system. The institution no longer competes to keep you. It organizes itself entirely around not losing you. The chief investment officer of the bank flies out specifically to ask for your opinion on emerging markets. You are actively shaping the exact same institution that once charged you $15 just for dropping below their minimum threshold. You do not apply for things anymore. Things apply for you.